as well tonight. Two players not dressed. Goal scorer from last game, Zachary Broguillard and Liam Fraser.
Lots of players on the bench too, coming off a good performance against Aruba. Players will be itching to get on.
It's going to be about what's required to see this match through. Whether you push or show a little bit more patience.
I think so. I can imagine it. Sports science team will just be keeping an eye on Osorio's minutes coming off an injury with TFC. Ooh, good awareness.
Davies dancing. Well, Kovic had to get that right. He did that time. Piet, good ball out wide. Jonathan Osorio to Laren. Good turn. Has Stefan Eustachio out wide. In behind Lorea.
He loves that backdoor run, Lorea. He was looking for him.
Quick feet. Lorea to Piet. Johnston.
Osorio wanted that from Johnston. Decides to play safe.
É play bom. Bom, que igual a mim grita. Não me grita ali. Puta merda.
Já passa.
Johnston.
Já passa. Se não tem da cadeira que ele está para macar.
Alistair Johnston out of Aurora, Ontario.
That's really.
There's that extra player in midfield.
David just missed Laren. Kennedy steps through to Piet. Well done. Osorio.
Better ball movement from Canada this half.
Osorio, this is where he likes to operate. Able to spray the ball left, right. This time it goes left to Davies. Davies on the dribble. Double team comes. Alfonso Davies. Davies with the quick step. Davies across. Davies still on it. Desperation clearance. Flag went up. Offside. Every time Alfonso Davies gets on the ball, just on your feet, you're just expecting something to be great.
Just moves here. You'll assume did really well to come over and give Leardam a little bit of protection.
I mean, that's why it's a shame, Terry, that this is at SeatGeek Stadium in Bridgeview, not at BMO Field in Toronto. The noise of the crowd. That effect on Canada. Canada's gone through this competition, haven't played a match at home. They'll be in the same case for the next round of this competition if they move on, despite their opponent Haiti being able to host home games. So certainly the schedule makers and the restrictions that have come along with the pandemic have really dealt Canada a losing hand. It's just about making the most of what you have and pushing on through and finding a way.
And then trying to find a winning edge within that. And I think the weather in Chicago is good.
Davies inside to David. Jonathan David! Jonathan David! Davies to David! Here's Johnny David!
Come è che io te ne dico due
one step closer to round two in the quest for Qatar.
So clinical in front of net. Takes it early. But watch this. What a slip pass from Alfonso Davies who inverts. The timing of the run from Johnny David's excellent. Piñas is just absolutely chasing shadows. You can see Duncan step. Piñas is playing him onside. Great little out-to-in run. The timing of the pass, the run, just all comes together nicely. Time just slowed down for him in front of goal.
expand time, give him space. He will make
Insan na so
pay.
siya man
Denied by
natin.
Han, clear through
Fan
in
of
the first
divide
half.
na
You're not going
boy.
to do it to him twice. 13 goals in just his 14th Canada game. The Maple Leafs in control with a 2-goal lead. Suriname now need 3. Suriname needs to show some urgency. Easy for Davies. This plays right into Canada's hands.
Hem lukutak na di fete draya
Older team, they're leggy. Canada just looking to come to life.
Great finish. I think by Johnny David taking that early, it didn't allow Han to set.
He just scores in big games, doesn't he? His Canada debut, his Gold Cup debut, his Nations League debut, his World Cup qualifying debut. Not to mention the big goals he scored for Lille in their championship campaign. Scored a match winner against PSG.
What I take from that, Wheels, is just how cool he is under pressure. Never does he snatch at it. So clinical, just strokes
Canada
it home with his
tranga na
left
baka
foot.
go. Fisi de ma fuck up. Fisi de ma no tranga.
I love how he bent his run to stay onside. Shout out to Laren as well, who came short, which drew out Donk.
A triple change coming for Dean Gorey. Hasselbeck's night is done. Mitchell Freda coming into the game. Dion Malone, Kelvin Leardom. All of their nights done.
Once you play na dois lang.
In comes DeMille Dankerloo. He's a right back, like for like in that position. Vincenzo for 22 comes into the game as well, replacing central midfielder Dion Malone. Cavalius is a wing player, he's an attack-minded player, so this is a progressive change. Like for like up top, Hasselbank rather isolated tonight. And probably a better player, a player that John Herbin maybe expected to be in the starting 11. In Mitchell Freda, 29-year-old, plays in Saudi Arabia. A little bit of a mercenary, but can score goals. 36 and 123 in the Eredivisie. Sorio. First touch for Dankerloo. Here comes Valius. Big challenge. He had to get it right, and he did. Oh, Henry. Hill comes straight through. Took a risk. Looks like there's some movement on the Canadian bench as well. One more change for Suriname, and John Herbin still has all 5 to make.
It's interesting, Gorey's approach today. They've been so good in possession, attacking centrally, moving the ball side to side, and I understand why he went with a little bit more of a defensive approach with the 2 holders, but I really think it took away from Suriname's attack.
Good ball movement, Canada.
Spacing's better as well this half. There's more width to Canada's attack, which is opening up a little bit of space in the middle of the park.
That's it, Terry. I don't think Canada played poorly by any means in the first half, just tightening things up. Risk management and understanding the gravity of the occasion. It's all taking some time, but Canada in complete control.
Just wonder if Gorey, manager of Suriname, is just going to be kicking himself tomorrow.
Laren, well done.
I think when you go into a big game, you just don't want to have any regrets or leave anything on the table. And never really saw the Suriname tonight so far. And it's credit to Canada, especially in an attacking sense, what we've seen in qualifying so far. Just going back to what we were talking about before the goal, about Canada making the most of a bad situation, I'd like to see them playing in a stadium rather than IMG.
Double change here in the 66th. Mark Anthony Kay, a standout performer against Aruba on the weekend. Good for Jonathan Osorio, getting through 66 minutes. He was a fitness concern for the Canadian men's national team. Looked good on the night. And Kyle Laren comes off for Lucas Cavallini. Scored 2 goals against Aruba on the weekend.
What's in it, dude?
Laren didn't find the back of the net, but a productive night up front. What do you make of the performances in Osorio and Laren tonight, Terry?
No,
Just
I'm
knowing
not
Osorio and the competitor he is, I think he knows for his body, it's smart, it's the right time to come off, but I think he was really enjoying himself in the second half. There was more space to play, the pictures were clearer, and he was starting to pull the strings for Canada. So bright signs ahead of these Haiti games for sure. And I thought Laren worked really well in tandem with Johnny David up top. It would be disappointing if he didn't really have a good look. But I thought his movement was excellent. His hold-up play, for the most part, was clean.
Alfonso Davies goes into the book, no doubt. Foul late. Contact with the ball, so Davies gives him the yellow in the 67th. Both those players coming off, it's good reminder.
If I'm a young
tentatively scheduled at present time for Saturday, so keep that in mind. Scoreline pending. Time is now. Suriname. Ball goes up. Well done, Daniil Henry. He's been a beast on defensive set pieces. David. Cavallini can be a handful. Big switch. It's going to go right on the foot of Davies. Expertly controlled.
Ian Hume touched on it in our pregame. Canada's depth right now to bring 2 players on like Mark Anthony Kay and just shows where the program's going and how deep Canada really are. And these 2 players really deserve their minutes. They were excellent on the weekend.
Cavallini. Had to be scoring goals for Vancouver Whitecaps. I mean, for Canada, it continues to be an absolute handful. Whoever he's playing. 16 goals in 20 Canada games, 5th most all time in Canada scoring.
Yeah.
I'm not going to really get the best out of him in front of goal. I like his relationship with Roma in Vancouver. I think it's coming.
Yes. Agreed. Nice work, Davies. Slips his mark. Finds David. Turns inside. David taken down. Sagafi was looking right at it. Didn't give it. An absolute penalty shout right there for Canada.
The character of David isn't Tim Bellish either. That's a penalty. I don't know whether that's why Sagafi's thinking it's 2-0. But come on.
It's exactly what David said. I think the defender thought he was going to turn and fire. What do you see here, Terry?
Oh, maybe not. I think his legs there. There's no contact. David goes over.
Man, they close though.
I don't think he touched the ball. I think that's a penalty.
I'm not sure there's any actual contact.
Ref no gia a bon kop one this night.
First replay shows that.
Man, it's Kopama. I'm a boiler,
Just the way Dunk stuck his leg in.
Geraldo Becker gets it behind, plays it across to Freddie. Oh my, he goes up and over. He missed his sitter. Last time out against Bermuda. To Freddie. Goes up and over. Becker. Finding some space in behind the back line. Perhaps Scott Kennedy just did enough.
Great pace from Becker. And awareness to make up to Freddie. In fact, maybe he has to take it on the half volley. Recovery. But a player of his quality should really be hitting the target from there.
Biggest chance of the game coming from open play for Suriname in the 71st minute.
No, denki of say she.
Taps. Anthony K with foul.
Nice little wake up.
Ina kapasa bala, sana kapus kopu. Asa no Uruguay we play more take you go pass na kapus kopu. Fana bole.
Good move inside. Ball nowhere near. On par with the move that he made to Freddie.
A little bit of a tricky one. A little bit like Kyle Lara.
Ya kapsa if I'm a kapa mama ne kisa mama robo.
On Saturday, Dean Gorey said that Suriname needed to take their chances. I mean, what a chance right there.
Make Messi fena baga de so do angai. Ateta pa out lane no sen negos do.
Long ball in behind. That's what Canada won't want. It's a foot race with Becker. You saw his pace there. Did you say number 3 in the Bundesliga?
Mana kapa ma boy. Ya go pasa ba di sa takama no.
Lots of time. No rush. Press does come. Well done, Piet, showing. Nice work. Mark Anthony K was outstanding on the weekend.
Clean passing from him there. Nice little ball around the corner.
Davies giving him time to run in the back line. Not a good idea. Davies still on it to David. Jonathan David! Make it 2! Alphonso Davies is just ridiculous. And that man right there. Jonathan David makes it 2 on the night. Canada is going through. We'll see you in Haiti on Saturday night. Suriname silenced. Davies, the man can't be stopped. And David, cool as can be, puts the ball into the back of the net. Canada 3. Suriname now. He really can't be stopped. Great tenacity from him. Davies selfishly finds his mate Johnny David. His first touch is a little bit behind him. Look at that confident walk. And then he just digs it out with his left foot. Finds the bottom corner. Richie LeRae on the right hand side. Hey guys, I'm over here. The future is bright, Canada. 20-year-old Alphonso Davies putting on a clinic. Jonathan David, likewise, 21 years young. 14 and 14 for David for Canada. And Davies, by the way, with a goal tonight, becomes the first Canadian since Paul Pescasolito in 1996 to score in 3 straight FIFA World Cup qualifiers in the same year. A reminder, he's 20.
Great team goal as well. Starts from Borjan. Canada played through the press. It's unlocked by a nice ball around the corner from Kay.
Terry, and he doesn't go down.
Foul
the referee, allowed him to play, and perseverance of that man right there.
We even saw it in his goal to make it 1-0. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't clean. There's been a real hungriness tonight from Davies to just make plays.
Balna kasa kasti baka.
Taking that off, it's just behind David. We talked about all his other qualities, but just such a good goal scorer.
Well, 13 goals this season for Lille.
The man in
It's a
a
record for a
cabal.
Canadian in a top
At
5
nasa.
league. Different types of goals too. That's it.
Look at play boo. The man in a
Terry, remember
cabal.
the conversation after he made the move to Lille? Slow start in 2020, only scored 2 goals.
Mindri beri ne
The
Euroko.
calendar turned. Then scored 11 goals in his final 20. I turned my phone off at that point.
I was having none of that.
Davies again. Alfonso Davies to David. He's on a hat trick. Oh, he tried to lay it off with Mark Anthony Kay. Suriname might want to watch that guy, Alfonso Davies. He's just doing what he wants down the left. Mark Anthony Kay to Cavallini. Taken down by Hahn. Penalty given. Suriname all over the shop. And Canada simply ruthless.
What a pass from Kay. His final
It's not
execution
an
over these
open.
last 2 games has been incredible.
Awasa yetaki.
Definitely
Ano ang
onside.
pin?
First touch taken away from the keeper.
Arim lukuti de me har halino taki.
100% a penalty.
Full credit to Cavallini staying on side, Terry. And the service by Mark Anthony Kay. Absolutely on point.
Taref de
So
le
Jonathan
terapi.
David
Na famo bro.
on a hat trick to make it 4. I'm sure. You know,
Im luka bal
We
bro.
hear Canada
You if you be
talking
above
about
reti de ma
brotherhood,
boy.
how
Na la
close
sa yo bro.
players are and how they really come together through this World Cup qualifying.
Ama bale mara ma khon
And
na
I think
fa
this
yo
is
ga
just
ma
another
pen.
little
Ama
moment
suka
how
pen to.
Cavallini wins the penalties, come off the bench,
Asa
have an
do.
absolute goal scorer to say, you know what, Johnny David, go get your hat trick.
Erika dakta ma bo trapa ma ref de drapef bro ma sa fa ma no bro
with
mi.
the finish. The hat trick is his.
Ref luka ma no harbe.
His second 3-goal performance for Canada. And this one coming at such an important moment. He's cool, he's calm. They call him the Iceman.
Not you.
Canada 4, Suriname 0.
Never any doubt.
Julas piribana ala malas biribi.
Hard low, little bit of disguise. Substitutes heavily involved. Kane to Cavallini, penalty. Love the unselfishness from Cavallini to let Johnny David have the opportunity to convert a penalty. Bag his hat trick.
Well, they come as advertised, don't they? Ottawa's own. Jonathan David, Eustachio. I mean, this could just get ugly right now. Suriname is all over it. Kay, Correa, across.
It's almost like the front 4 or 5 of Suriname are saying to the back, okay, you guys can just deal with Canada. We're going to hang out up at halfway, and I'm not sure that's the best approach.
Eustachio. Ball in the box. Daniel Henry was there. Okay. Good control. Canada just getting better as this game goes on. They're fit, they're focused. Nothing came easy in the first half. What's changed here for you in the second half, Terry?
I think the ball movement's been better, the spacing, positioning opened up the field a little bit. I think as Canada scored 2 and 3, Suriname started to cheat a little bit, keep players up top, and that's opened up even more space. Can I say Alfonso Davies? Johnny David's been clinical in front of goal. Good ball. Thing is with this Canadian team, even when they're not vintage, they have players that can just score goals at will. And a triple change coming up for Canada. Atakubi, Buchanan, and Wotherspoon about to check into the game. The night is done for Richie Larea. Some good work down that right-hand side. 81 minutes. Jonathan David. What a night it is for Jonathan David. He was gutted, missing out on the March camp. He had his eyes fully cast on this all-important June window and taking full advantage. And Alfonso Davies, the superstar, the crown jewel of CONCACAF. What a night for Alfonso Davies. Give him a goal. Give him a couple assists as well. Mauro Biello all smiles on the Canada bench. This is what the new Canada is all about. That's what the nation's standing up, taking notice of how special this is and where this thing can go. And I think when Canada needed a big moment, their star player created something almost out of nothing. Suriname couldn't live with this pace. Yes, there's good play ahead of the goal from Kennedy, first time pass. Jonathan David dropping into that half space, but it was all about Alfonso Davies. And I love the hungriness, the tenacity to just make a play, to get on the end of it.
Frustrating night for that man. They'll look ahead to the Gold Cup. First ever time they've qualified for that competition. The banter was lively. It was active across the One Soccer YouTube channels, on Twitter, what have you. The country is rallied behind Suriname, but perhaps a little bit of perspective of what it's going to take to really compete with the best in this region. As we witnessed CONCACAF Nations League final on Sunday, great game USA-Mexico, and making it even into the final 8. It's now difficult, very difficult in this region. It's always been difficult for Canada, but especially now with top quality teams across the board. Seemed a little cocky, seemed a little arrogant from the Suriname fans, but there's reason for encouragement going forward. Cavallini. Atakubi cuts it back. Piet. David Wotherspoon. It's a wonderful form for both club and country. Atakubi. Lost that up. Buchanan there on the far post. It's interesting, like-for-like changes across the board. Atakubi comes in, replaces Davies. Buchanan can play in that a little bit more of an advanced role down that right-hand side. Wotherspoon's just going to play just underneath Cavallini for the final 6+ minutes here.
I'd like to see Atakubi coming on wheels. He went off with a knock on the weekend, and a little bit worried that was the end of the count for him. He looks good.
Becker plays that across. Tries to get a call. Orient's going to play this out.
We're told Hoylett is available, but only if need be.
That was for tonight, perhaps some extra rest. Hoyland came off with a hamstring in the first half. Wasn't a nice birthday gift for him over the weekend, but good side that he was on the Canadian bench tonight and will look to be available for two critical ties.
And then, by the way, how outstanding was Buchanan in his debut? I think he's deserved these minutes. Nice little cameo for him to get his second cap. Real attacking fullback.
Anakubi himself tests Warner on. Why not?
Set up just too nicely for him to turn down. He catches it sweetly on the half volley.
Anakubi's seen all these other Canadian players score goals for their first Canada goal. Whether it be Alistair Johnston or Frank Stirring or David Wotherspoon. He wants to join that party. Coming up this home and away tie. I mean, there's a settle to be scored with Haiti. More than a moment. Tajon Buchanan. Look at that pace. Stacchio, good ball. Wotherspoon. Tajon was so good in his Canadian debut last time out. Here he is again. Of course, Canada 2-0 Gold Cup 2019 in the knockout phase of the Gold Cup. Watch this year's Gold Cup right here on One Soccer. Every game coming your way. It's coming up next month, but he finished Haiti 3, Canada 2. You know that's going to be ripe in the memory of Herdman and company.
Yeah, I think Canada beat themselves, and I thought in the moment that big picture, this experience will be good for the boys.
Mark Anthony Kane. Cavallini, far post run. He's wide open. Cavallini up and over. Very similar to a missed chance against Bermuda in the first game of this round of qualifying.
Just slightly behind him. Mark Anthony Kane threads the needle. I wonder if he could have laid it off to Weatherspoon there. Tough to turn down, taking the strike on.
That's exactly what Spoonie's saying.
I think Kane comes into the conversation to start against Haiti.
No kidding. Buchanan's made an impression. Kay's made an impression. Difficult to keep players out. Haiti guessing. Foul here, caution. It's going to go on Geraldo Becker. If you missed it today, Haiti beat Nicaragua 1-0 to advance. It was a torrential downpour, thunder, lightning. They were playing through it. Just prepare for it, Canada. The field conditions are going to be horrendous. It's going to be wet. It's calling for rain all week long. There's also civil unrest in the country to deal with. Canada's done their work in terms of providing security, potential medical issues when it comes to COVID. So there are issues to deal with in making that trip to Haiti, which will come up this weekend, and the return leg will be played in the United States a few days later. But I think you're right, Terry. Canada did beat themselves in that game, and he has some difficult players to deal with in attack. And you know, John Herdman's going to come up with a game plan that says he's more like Suriname than Nicaragua, so there'll be a
if Canada play and same place, they feel
I'm assuming.
I think the similarities are they've got individuals that can hurt you. I don't think Canada's defense will want to be isolated, very athletic. A little bit random, which makes them difficult to defend. They go back to front real quick. There maybe isn't that collective cohesiveness, but some real individual threats, and if they can build some momentum, home field will be a big advantage. Crowd.
Who is the one taking Guabakazi Baka?
But I think Canada have been preparing for that game ever since They got beat in the Gold Cup.
2 legs as well.
You
Get rid of the randomness of the one-off. Canada clearly in the deeper squad is. I'm sure we've seen 11 changes for a Canadian men's national team, one game to another, and of course, players like Jonathan David leading the way. Haiti simply do not have talent that Canada possesses, dare I say. Best attacking group in CONCACAF, very much part of the equation with the Mexicos, United States, Jamaicas of the world. They are that good.
Yeah. I think Two Wheels coming through a death ground game like this, do or die. I think he'll take confidence from that. Yeah, we've been in this situation now together. We've come through it. And like you said, it's over 2 legs. He's got a little bit more cushion. The better team should prevail. Maybe it'll give me another opportunity to say camaraderie.
The stakes are incredibly high, though. They cannot be understated. I mean, this is an association coming out of a pandemic, which has affected the sport across the board, the off-field ramifications, and the reward of making it to the Octagon or the Ocho, whatever you want to call it, the final round of qualifying for the first time since the 98 campaign. I mean, that's huge. And for these players to continue to come together and play against the biggest and brightest in this region, I mean, that means a whole lot. And for you, the fan out there, to see your national team play big games over the course of the fall as they try to expedite that process, never mind hosting in 2026. This team has the makeup, has the quality to take those steps towards 2022. Good ball. Atakubi in behind. Which option does he pick out? Wotherspoon, just a bit of a heavy touch. Well, just a little bit too far in front of him.
Talk about the Ochoa. I think that Canada getting there, they wouldn't limp into it and just make the numbers up. I think Canada can do some damage in the last 8, especially with home games. I don't think countries will want to come to Canada and play against this young, dynamic team.
Now it's up to our federal government to provide the same exemptions as they have to the hockey teams in this country as the Stanley Cup playoffs move on. Games need to be played in this country. Good ball, Wotherspoon. Atakubi, Mark Anthony Kay. That's a big defensive moment for Suriname. Certainly doesn't matter anymore, but saves a 5th ending up in the back of their net.
Great action. Wotherspoon finds Atakubi in behind their fullback. Could have Atakubi got that off the foot just a little bit quicker.
Hashtag na Canada boy guanga bala mindri.
Love to see 3 numbers in the box.
Yama weary that nation.
Canada just too much for Suriname, in particular in the second half. I love how they stuck to their task in the first.
No weary. Hashtag begin my big play.
Job done. On to the next. So 12 to the 15th as Herdman and company are on their way to Haiti. 2 games to